Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Jeremy South. He's the Chief Financial Officer of Step Gold. Jeremy, very good to speak to you today. And you finalized the acquisition of Boru Gold in Mongolia. So a big milestone in your journey to become a Mongolia-focused producer.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen. Nice to be here. And yeah, very exciting times for us, to have the deal closed and, be able to have those two cash flowing assets and a very exciting expansion underway at our ATO project.
You talk about cash flow. This is going to be immediately accretive to your cash flows, isn't it, Jeremy?
Yeah, I mean, I think this acquisition is really about three things. It's about cash flow. We will have 80 to 90,000 ounces in combined mine production this year on an annualized basis, and the same next year, moving to 140 to 150,000 ounces in 2026. AISC, which drives our cash flow, should be in around $1,100 over the next 2 years. So, that's very competitive in an environment where 1450 is probably average. It's about our reserve position, 2.3 million ounces at least in the combined projects, and it's about that exploration upside that you touched on as well.
And of course, you aim to use that cash flow to support the restructuring of the $150 million project financing for the ATO phase two restructuring.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think the $150 million of project finance is in place, but we now have the opportunity to fine tune that. We've pulled down the first tranche. The second tranche should be drawn down around February of next year, and then we have the opportunity to not only bring down the cost of that tranche, but also the third tranche, which was the most expensive piece. We have the opportunity now to use cash flow coming out of the combined mine production. So that really changes the economics of this phase two and gives us much greater leverage to the gold price.
Jeremy, you mentioned the exploration upsides. Take us through it as you see it at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we have lots of opportunities at both projects now, and I think what we've sort of struggled with is having the cash flow to really finance that exploration, and so we're now looking to expand both organically and inorganically. Exploration upside at adjacent to the Boru. There's a few potential satellite deposits. We're already mining from a satellite deposit near Boru at Ulan Bulag, and we now have the cash to start to do a bit more work at our ATO project, which we believe has significant exploration upside, both at depth and in step-out regions. So that's where it is. But also the inorganic opportunities as the major gold producer in Mongolia with cash flow, with a good balance sheet, finally gives us the opportunity to start to execute on some interesting M&A opportunities. It really makes us the go-to company in Mongolia for precious metals.
And do you think that will help attract more investors to the company as well as make financing easier going forward, Jeremy?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's right. I mean, financing in the mining industry is, it's well documented. It's incredibly difficult. Debt markets, have really shied away from the mining sector, even with, the critical metals push. But gold continues to be, sought after by equity investors, and we just need to be, this gives us the opportunity to really obtain those better financing transactions, and sets us up well for the future.
So what's the next big milestone that investors should be looking out for then, Jeremy?
Yeah, I think for us it's about execution. It's about executing on ATO phase two. It's about executing on the production at Boru, and it's about executing on the exploration upside that we now have the opportunity to really pursue more aggressively. And I think hopefully into next year we'll have the opportunity to bring some M&A opportunities. We're at 2.3 million ounces of reserves. We'd like to get to 5 million ounces in the next year or two. And that really makes us a very interesting proposition for the markets.
Well, Jeremy, I hope you'll keep us updated on any progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thanks, Stephen. Thanks for your time.
Pleasure. That's Jeremy South, the Chief Financial Officer at Steppe Gold.